Hey guys, Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing my new lenses for my glasses. Now before I begin, I want to give a quick shout out to a few viewers of mine who had a very good eye for detail on a previous video of mine that I had done about 2 years ago involving a review of these, which would be the predecessor to my newest lenses. Now, 2 years ago, I thought what I had were lenses manufactured by Zeiss and a coating from Crizal called the Sapphire UV. Now, this was a particularly strange thing to have because Crizal and Zeiss and Crizal's parent company, which would be named Varilux, are competing companies, and generally you don't see competing companies' technology packed into the same lens. That being the case, here's where some confusion happened. See, there are some independent laboratories out there that do have the technology and capability to do something very weird like that, but it's very rarely done, and it's not something you're going to find typically, which is what started this discussion. The idea was, well, you shouldn't be possible to have Crizal stuff on a Zeiss lens. And it turns out they were right. And I want to thank them because I tried to do my very best to be accurate and honest. And if there's a serious discrepancy with the info I have, in this case the manufacturer of the lens, I want to bring it up to everyone else because I want to be as thorough in my information as I can. And sometimes that can be difficult when we're talking about eyewear because there's a lot of different technical terms, a lot of different names for a lot of different things, and there's a lot of manufacturers with a lot of special proprietary technologies to it. So, what are these exactly? Well, luckily, I was able to go to my doctor's and pull up the information from about 2 years ago. And it turns out that these are, in fact, Varilux lenses with a Crizal Sapphire UV coating, not Zeiss, which in this case puts me in a particularly interesting scenario because although I did not know the true manufacturer of these lenses, I can say with much certainty now how I feel comparing two competing companies against each other. So, in the end, this may actually work in a beneficial manner to do this review and kind of pit these two companies head to head. Now, you might be thinking, well, these are different lenses. Are they even remotely comparable? The fact of the matter is, yes, they actually are relatively comparable. The points of comparison are, and I have them written down here, is first off, these are both considered digital lenses. Now, what it means to have a digital lens is pretty simple to understand. With a normal set of lenses, they have a circular mold that a machine then cuts into the shape of your frames. With digital lenses, instead of having a starting predefined circular disc of material that they grind down from, the material is created based off of your prescription in the first place, and then it's put into the style of frames that you have. So they're much more tailored from the get-go versus getting something in general and having that adapted to your lens, which helps enhance your vision further. And on top of that, this happened to be, at the time, Crizal's most high-end coating, which was the Sapphire UV. Now, that being said, the coating on these lenses, which we'll go into a lot of detail in just a moment, are called the Zeiss DuraVision Blue Protect, which these are designed for a very specific application, which is filtering out harmful blue light from electronic devices that may harm your eyes, but the sapphire coating was chosen on these lenses for that exact same purpose 2 years ago. Now, Crizal has a coating called the Provencia, which is the competitor to Zeiss DuraVision Blue Protect. Now that being said, the only other major differences between this is polycarbonate and these are Trivex. But it's still similar enough for me to go over some comparisons. All my opinions that I had about these lenses here from Varilux, not Zeiss, that I did in the review 2 years ago still stand. Fact of the matter is, these were one of the most high-end lenses that Varilux had to offer. And subsequently, they did an amazing job. And I absolutely loved and enjoyed using these for the 2 years that I got to use them. So that hasn't changed. But what has changed is the manufacturer and some extra things about these lenses that are proprietary in some ways to Zeiss, which makes me want to lean more towards Zeiss at the moment. So, with that being said, props to Crizal and their parent company Varilux for the lenses that I had been using for the past 2 years. But now, it's time to talk about these guys and some of the features that they provide. So, let's dive on in.